Amen. You know, guys, sometimes it feels like we are living in a simulation because some of the things that are happening in this country are unbelievable. I mean, a few days ago, we saw the Special Investigative Unit raiding the home of Hangwani Maumela. And we know that Hangwani Maumela is the nephew of Cyril Ramaphosa from his previous marriage. The SIU took the Lamborghinis, the artwork, and it has also been reported that this mention of Hangwani Maumela in Sandhurst has been attached. So the SIU is just trying to recoup the money that has been stolen from the people of Tembis. And just when we were about to discuss that, we now have to deal with a fresh scandal because now there are footages of the president of this country standing outside the house of Hangwani Maumela, the same guy that the president denied ever knowing. You know, when the SIU raided this home in Sandhurst, it was all over social media. And some people were saying, guys, wait a minute. There are videos of the president of the country standing outside the very same home that has been raided by the Special Investigative Unit. And this is the video that people were talking about. Oh, policeman.
I need to come to the president. He don't need to come to me.
You come to me. You come to me. How are you, my brother?
Yeah.
I'll give you some love.
I love you.
I'll give you some love.
Yeah. I love you.
How are you? No better cameraman in the world.
Let me tell you.
Yes. So, I mean, if you say it's beautiful, this is the best.
There you have it, guys. There, the president of the country standing outside the home of Hangwani Maumela giving hugs and kisses. And yesterday, the presidency told us that, guys, these footages of Ramaphosa standing outside the home of Hangwani Maumela were nothing but a mere coincidence. This is what they told us. And of course, South Africans do not believe him. South Africans do not believe that Ramaphosa, we know that this guy is your nephew. And now there are footages of you standing literally on the driveway of his house. How can you now say that you don't know this guy? So you would actually think that the presidency would see that this is a big deal and it is obviously not a good look for the president. You would think that the presidency would take some sort of accountability and bring South Africans into their confidence, but somehow they sent out their spokesperson to gaslight South Africans even more. I was watching this press conference of Vincent Magwenya yesterday, and I just couldn't believe the level of gaslighting that this guy actually subjected us to.
Colleagues will have seen a video that's been doing the rounds on social media purporting to place the president at Mr. Morgan Maumela's home. We would like to therefore address the falsehoods that have been spread through this video showing the president with a well-known radio DJ, commonly known as Thibaut Touch.
We don't care about Thibaut Touch. Honestly, we don't care about Thibaut Touch. But I think Thibaut Touch, I think he should actually answer something. Am I the only person who thinks that Thibaut Touch, maybe there's something for you to actually answer? Because you were there with the president outside the home of Maumela.
Showing the president with a well-known radio DJ, commonly known as Thibaut Touch, outside Morgan Maumela's home. The video shows four gentlemen.
I mean, like, I think Thibaut Touch wouldn't sabotage his soft life for the comrades. And if Thibaut Touch were to be pressed, I think he would speak faster than the comrades. The comrades are used to these processes. They are used to having the vehicles of the Hawks or the SIUs at their homes. But if the same thing were to happen to Thibaut Touch, I'm sure Thibaut Touch would actually spill the beans. This is what I said about that case of Senzo Mayiwa, the killing of Senzo Mayiwa. I said that, guys, why don't the police sit down with the mother of Kelly Khumalo? I'm sure the mother of Kelly Khumalo would break down in less than 2 hours. Why won't they do that?
Colleagues will have seen a video that's been doing the rounds on social media purporting to place the president at Mr. Morgan Maumela's home. We would like to therefore address the falsehoods that have been spread through this video showing the president with a well-known radio DJ, commonly known as Thibo Touch, outside Morgan Maumela's home. The video shows four gentlemen, namely Deputy Minister Jomo Sibiya, who at the time was a special advisor to the president. And this video was taken or recorded on the 29th of September 2023. You also see the president in the middle with the DJ, Thibo Touch, as I've mentioned, as well as with Bishop Noel Jones. Now, colleagues will also recall, and it is well known, that the president loves to walk whenever he finds time, and that is how he keeps himself fit. On this day, he had invited Mr. Sibiya on a walk, which is something he does regularly, to invite his staff, including ministers, for walks.
I mean, Ramaphosa is so predictable. The people did say that this is exactly what his spokesperson is going to say. As soon as these videos are leaked, the people said that, guys, Ramaphosa will say that, you know, guys, I do my walks and it was just one of those walks. This is how predictable these people are. And I hope that the spokesperson of the presidency knows that when some information comes out, we're going to come back to this video of him telling us that the president was just walking. I hope that he knows that we are going to come back to this, because the internet does not forget.
As well as his friends. It's usually a very constructive time and easy time to engage the president on a number of issues during the walk. So during this particular walk, they passed a house which we now all know to be Maumela's house. As they were passing this house, they were stopped by Thibo Touch, who got out of the car. As I've mentioned, he was in the company of his mentor and friend, Bishop Noel Jones. They took pictures and they recorded a video. During the same walk, the president had stopped and spoke to several people along the way, including taking pictures with some of those people. Mr. Jomo Sibiya's Facebook post during that time do show all of this. And so, indeed, you see the president in front of Maumela's house, but they were not visiting the house or coming out of that house.
What a nice alibi, man. The problem with these people is that they think that we are their children. That is the thing. That is the thing with South African politicians. And that's why, like, I'm so harsh on South African voters, because they have actually made it possible for these people to actually think that they are clever and we are idiots. That's why I'm harsh on South Africans. I mean, like, this is nothing but gaslighting, guys.
It just so happened that Thibo Touch stopped his car to greet the president as he was walking past what we now know as Maumela's house. The president did not even know whose house it was at the time. The other dynamic about this street in particular is it's a street that the president, uses regularly when he takes walks or drives past or drives through the street. And naturally, he'll drive past this house because the street is not too far from his home in Hyde Park. It's a street that he will use when driving to and from Sandton, for example, or heading to any northerly direction.
Okay.
It's a street that we use when we go to his house, either coming from a northerly direction or heading towards Sandton or a northerly direction. And so it's not uncommon to see the president's convoy in that street or to see him walking in that street because it's really, really close to his house. I mean, I think where Maumela's
The spokesperson of the presidency is telling South Africans that the house of the president is very close to the house of Maumela. This is what he's telling us, that Maumela does not live far from the president. I'm not sure if he is aware that this is what he's saying. And I know that he's trying to defend the president, but he is basically throwing the president under the bus. You are throwing the president under the bus. Because this thing that the president lives near Maumela, it was just on social media, there and there and there and there. And you guys are just confirming it. And I've also seen some posts on social media saying, but guys, if like from there, 4 minutes or something, there is a house there of Katie Mulev. Somewhere there, 10 minutes there is a house of Julius. I don't know if this guy actually understands how bad it is and how bad it sounds for him to stand there and tell South Africans that the president lives near Maumela.
house is, it's probably less than a kilometer or two, or about a kilometer at the most. And so naturally, if he, depending which route he decides to take, there's no way he will not walk past that house. We've also had claims, which we find disturbing, that the president visits Maumela's house every week. There's a claim that apparently quotes neighbors saying this. And this is something we reject as a complete lie.
Of course.
That the president visits this house every week. With his extremely busy schedule, there are only 4 categories.
I mean, like, busy schedule doing what? Ramaphosa is busy doing what? Busy doing what?
With his extremely busy schedule, there are only 4 categories of people that can claim to see the president every week. 1, it's his family, his security detail, his union building staff, particularly those assigned to his private office here at the union buildings, as well as ANC officials, which he meets every Monday. Other than those categories, no one can claim to see the president every week.
All right.
There are 2 homes that he visits regularly. But even with those homes, he does not visit them every week. The first, it's his sister's house, who resides in Soweto. The second house that he visits regularly is the house of his longtime comrade and mine workers union friend, Mr. James Motlatsi. There's no other household that the president, or rather, there's no other household that can claim to be visited by the president every week. It's practically impossible with his work schedule for him to visit any house every week other than his own home. And then now and then he will visit his sister and he will visit Mr. Motlatsi, as I've stated. And so the president maintains that he has no personal relationship with Maumela. He is not related to him.
He is.
Except he was once married to his aunt.
Then they are related. Because, guys, you remember this conversation between John Steenhuisen and Ramaphosa in 2022 in Parliament? Steenhuisen said, one of your own nephew's company scored 381 million rands from Gauteng hospitals. You are right, BEE does not benefit the majority, it only benefits the ANC-connected cronies. One of your own nephew's company scored 381 million rands from Gauteng hospitals, and Ramaphosa said that I don't even know this gentleman. So there you have the president acting like even this insinuation that he is the uncle of this guy, it is nonsense because he does not even know this guy. But now, his spokesperson in the presidency is basically admitting that Ramaphosa knows Maumela. How can you say that you are not related to a person that you had married their aunt before? You married his aunt, and now the marriage is over, and you claim that me and this guy are not related. It makes no sense. You are related. You married his aunt. You married his aunt, and chances are you guys established your relationship during that marriage with his aunt.
Many years with Maumela. He is not related to him, except he was once married to his aunt many years ago. And so we do note the ongoing desperate attempt from some quarters of the media and others on social media to continue perpetuating this falsehood and seeking to link the president to this gentleman.
And guys, this is how I know that the independent media has actually made it. If it wasn't for the social media, if it wasn't for YouTube, if it wasn't for the people on TikTok, if it wasn't for people on Facebook, the presidency, there's absolutely no way that they would have addressed this thing, because the mainstream media is not talking about these finer details between Maumela and Cyril Ramaphosa. The mainstream media is not reporting that the president was seen outside the home of Maumela. The mainstream media is not reporting about that. It's not. It's only the people on social media that are talking about it. People on TikTok making videos about it. Us on YouTube, people on Facebook, people on X are talking about this. And this just shows that the mainstream media is basically dying. The independent media is now the new media. We have actually forced the presidency to address something that he wouldn't have addressed under normal circumstances. But now he is forced to address these things because he understands that, okay, people are moving digitally and they are getting this information digitally. They can buy all the mainstream all they want. They can bribe the mainstream media all they want not to report on Ramaphosa and some of these things. But the independent media, guys, it is the new media right now. And this is the reason why some of these comrades were actually pushing for regulation of the podcast, because they don't want people to speak about things like this. They don't want people to speak about things like this. That's why I was warning the people that, guys, even if you see a podcast of a person that you completely disagree with, or if somebody says something that you completely disagree with, it is fine to disagree with that person, but do not call for that person to be censored, because you calling for that person to be censored, you are technically calling for yourself to be censored. Once they start with us and shut down these channels, they are coming to social media. You are no longer going to comment or say anything on social media. But they will turn this into Zimbabwe. And this just shows how important it is for us to keep our freedom of expression and our freedom of speech. Things like this are not happening in Zimbabwe. I just saw the videos of Mnangagwa riding around, I don't know, in 10 Maybachs or something like that. Like, look at how the people of Zimbabwe are living, and you have the president of the country that is riding around in a car that costs like 6 million rands, while the people are suffering. And the people cannot even say nothing about that in Zimbabwe because Mnangagwa does not play that games. We need to cherish this thing, guys, as South Africans. We need to the fact that we can actually speak about these things. It is something that we need to cherish a lot.
We've gone further to even obtain confirmation from Tibo Touch that the video and pictures formed part of his original post. He was coming from the airport, he says, going to the Saxon Hotel with Bishop Noel Jones. At the time, I'm informed that this house was under construction. So again, the president had no knowledge of whose house it was. And so we do reject sternly that the president may have been visiting Maumela's house. And that is very far from the truth.
You can reject all you want, guys. You can reject all you want. But at the end of the day, the people will make up their own minds. At the end of the day, the people will make up their own minds. Guys, what do you think about these statements by the presidency, Vincent Magwenya? Or let me play the rest of it.
It is worth also mentioning that just before the president was appointed the deputy president, he gathered his immediate family and relatives and sternly instructed all of them to either exit or stop any business that they did or intended to do with the government or any state institution. Maumela was not part of that family gathering. He couldn't have been part of that meeting because he's not part of the president's immediate family. It is for this reason that we are going to consistently reject the narrative that seeks to link his existence and whatever else is involved in to the president.
I mean, you can reject all you want. reject away. Reject away. But one thing that I know is that the people do not believe. South Africans do not believe. South Africans do not believe. What are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts about the presidency telling us what we actually expected them to tell us? What are your thoughts? Please tell me in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button at the most important part. Subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.